Gentlemen.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Oh, look, it's Annie Frey.
So beat the drum with me.
At Annie Frey Show.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
Yeah, Annie Frey. Hi.
Happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday to you, too. Annie Frey Show, Saturdays 5 to 7 at Annie Frey Show. I'm assuming you're on, even though it's a holiday weekend.
Yep, we'll be there.
Saturday's the chill time. It's in between Good
Yeah.
Friday and Easter Sunday.
That's right. We will be here.
Spend the time with you. So what do you think about Bannon?
You know, he's, in my opinion, more polarizing than Donald Trump is. There are people, like you have your full support behind him. And he, to me, just on perception, vibe, which doesn't have anything to do with how well he's going to do his job, he makes me nervous. He doesn't have that politician thing, that polished look about him, just the way he presents himself. So just from that alone, which is a lot of times how far people get with the judgment on anybody who's in politics, because they're all very, they're not all very attractive, but they're all very presentable people. They polish their words.
Well, that's precisely why I love him.
Sure. And I mean, and it's kind of the same reason why a lot of people like Donald Trump from the perspective of what you get from him is a genuine straight shooting. Here's where I am on this. This is why I think this. And it's not run through the mill of the political, gobbledygook that we're so used to getting when the politicians tell you one thing and they get elected based on one thing, and then once they get elected, they spend how much time in office, and then they just start worrying about getting elected again instead of doing stuff.
I love polarizing figures.
Well,
I really do.
We definitely have two in the White House doing that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna have any kind of change whatsoever, you need to have polarizing people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Obama was polarizing.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, but President Obama was also in a fashion of polarizing where he was causing trouble within America. He was pitting Americans against each other. Mm-hmm. And I don't see an example of where President Trump is pitting Americans against each other. You know what? He's pitting Americans against elected officials and politicians, but for once we have somebody who seems to me to be speaking for regular Americans and not spending his time pitting Americans against other Americans.
Yeah, the reason Donald Trump is the president today is because of what you just said. Because the American people are sick and tired of being so detached from the people who represent them. It's really more the converse. They are detached from us. They're concerned about getting elected. They're concerned about preserving their career in politics. And it's not a true representation of what the people are saying and wanting. And Donald Trump has figured out a way to, he's probably the least like us on a day-to-day basis of any of the politicians that are in there, just because of his lifestyle is so extravagant. He's had so much financial success. But what's helped him get there is his ability to kind of keep his finger on the pulse and convey that to people. So the reason he is there is just like you said, because he's aligned himself with the people, and not like you said in the Obama administration, a very common progressive political tactic is to divide and conquer, put people in boxes and make sure that people understand how oppressed they are based on some demographic.
Or assume that because you went to Harvard, you're just that much smarter than everybody else, which is what he exuded. And it's interesting to me that as rich and powerful as President Trump has been, how he has, in my opinion, been one of the most grounded, connected politicians to the American people, to the regular Joe out there, than anybody that we've seen in a long time, because these guys don't get out much. I mean, as much as President Trump has led a high lifestyle, he has not been able to operate without having to deal with regular people on a regular basis, whether it be people managing his properties, whether it be people building his properties and those kinds of things. And I think that really has made him more grounded than anybody else.
Yeah, you compare him to a Hillary Clinton, and I heard the clip you played in the 6 o'clock hour about Hillary giving all of the reasons, except for herself, why she didn't win. Hillary has been living her entire moment to be president today.
Right.
And she failed miserably at it. And Donald Trump doesn't need this, which is what empowers him to be able to do and say the things that he wants to, that he needs to, because he's not hanging his hat on this at the end of the day. He has seen something that needs to be done, and he's pursued it. And people said, yeah, that's what we want.
Right. And that's why, for instance, a Republican and Democrat, you'll get, Lindsey Graham talking about, I think we send 1,000 troops into Syria right there, and then if Russia does anything, we need like these guys are these armchair generals, and I realize Lindsey Graham has been in the military, and I'm sure that he knows people who are serving in the military. I'm not saying that, but he talks about human life like it's just like he's playing Risk.
Yeah, and
it's just not comfortable.
For someone who's my age, I'm 32 years old, 17 when 2001 or 9/11 happened. War has kind of always been in some capacity a part of my adult life in some varying form. I remember growing up and like having no clue about any type of strife like that in the world. When I'm 17, 9/11 happens. And now it's kind of a thing. The problem has been, in my opinion, that Obama has been so globalist that when Donald Trump comes in and he truly is America first in his policies and his philosophies, it's a bit abrasive. But it's also kind of about time that we start to defend our place in the world by making sure that this stuff doesn't come here, which is the travel ban.
Yeah. They call them, it's funny how you get to a point where you have a president who says, I'm president of the United States, not of the world. And that's racist and xenophobic.
Yeah, it's shocking. Yeah, it's so backwards. But Trump has snapped too on that.
No doubt about it. All right, hang out for a little bit here, Annie.
Sure.
And it's Annie Frey Show, Saturdays 5 to 7 at Annie Frey Show. And yeah, we have this one guy at one of his meetings. He's talking to taxpayers, and this is the kind of politician we need to avoid like the plague. We have a little bit of that, and I want to hit you up on the Claire McCaskill U.S. Senate race as well, and your phone calls are welcome, 969-9797, 866-455-9797.